Hello, Tony here, back for our fourth video, I believe. Yes, we will be starting on the expos with the update and draw systems. Then we'll get to the other expos before we head on to something else in a different video. Right, so we got the updatable here. First one, as you can see, it's friended with an attorney. It's got its big four here, as you might expect, and it's got these functions here: the update and registration and update deregistration for sending a command off for the registration system, which I might as well take this opportunity to take a look at the broker and probably commands a little bit as well. So yes, the broker, nothing too crazy here, just you know, runs through the commands one at a time and then sends them off. And of course it has a second list so that it doesn't add them while it's running through its current list, just in case of the different situations where you might be adding a command during the list, during iteration through the list. Yeah, anyway, updatable. We've got our oxygen stuff. We got the this reg state here is the register. Actually, I should show that. The register state here, we've got under game object. Yeah. So for the registering, you'll see this class a lot more, or enum class quite a bit very soon. Right. Then we got our two commands here. We got the storage list, setter and getter for the references, and the final scene registration. Going through this carefully because the rest of the expos are fairly similar. Well, at least the draw is very similar. The other ones have, of course, their own interesting things. Got initialization lists. Right, yeah, here. So we've got our proper asserts and whatnot. Goes through the scene manager and the whole registration system, which we'll see pan out as we go through all the classes. Right, we'll get to game object in a little bit. Got the updatable attorney. Management is for the updatable manager, which we're going to look at in a second. Then registration is for the registration commands, which we'll look at right now. Right, so registration command, deregister, nearly identical in the header. Right, and here got basically just calling the correct registration or deregistration to the scene, or actually not to the scene. The command actually calls the proper command in the updatable class. Right. Anyway, let's take a quick look at the manager for it. Right. It is not a singleton, not because it is managed by the scene, and each individual scene has their own, as they're supposed to. Right. It's got its process elements function, which we saw earlier in the update in scene. Yes. Register, deregister. Of course, we use the erase function to get constant time out of by having that reference. Almost forgot about that. And of course, when we set the reference, we this is where we get the reference and save it for when we want to delete it, or if we want to delete it, I guess. Like during the operation. Yeah. Anyway, that's that. I think so, right? Yeah, there shouldn't be anything else. Yeah, because I don't think this is supposed to. Does this have a destructor that needs to destroy things? No, I don't think it needs to, because it's not actually managing any updatables. They're all managed by other things, so it shouldn't be deleting them. Yes. Right, let's take a quick look at drawable because it's pretty much the same just with drawing. Because drawing is fun. Right, so yeah, similar stuff. I try to keep these similar classes to everything together and consistent. That way it makes it easier on everyone involved. Got, of course, the virtual draw and draw 2D here with oxygen stuff, which we can look at real quick here. That's not the website. Okay, we want to look in classes. Let's just search it up real quick. Draw. Might as well. Draw. Draw. There we go. I think. Nope, this is the CPP. I'm just gonna find it manually. I don't think finding all of these is very practical this way. Drawable. Here we go. So we've got short little blurb and then longer blurb. Just in this case, just for the draw and draw 2D because those are the functions used by or that the user needs to be aware of, and the draw, deregister, and register are covered by the tutorial. So there's that. Also, side note here that 2D objects must go in the draw 2D because of the whole draw order thing. Let me see if I can find update real quick. We got documentation there as well. Right. In this case, just for the update. Explains what it does and gives you scenes or classes. Really kind of wish I had more of the demo part in there, but well, such is life, I suppose. Anyway, that drawable turn. We didn't actually CPP file, did we? Yeah, so almost identical to updatable. I won't spend too much time on this. You can pause if you want and look at it. Okay, we got drawable attorney. Also fairly similar. Got management for the drawable manager, and then registration for the registration commands. Flip through the draw commands if you want to pause. They are, I assure you, they are nearly identical to the updated ones because there's not much difference in their function in life. But you know, not the worst thing. Anyway, we got drawable manager header file here. We got its storage list, or well, it's draw list. And yeah, it's got its own process elements, registers, deregisters, and all that fancy stuff. Yep, and it goes through both the draw, then the 2D draw for proper ordering. And this, of course, is called by the scene, which is then called by the scene manager, and so on and so forth. Right, so again, using the constant time erase function and saving that reference. Yeah. So that's that stuff. Let's alarm system next. See if we can get through alarm system nice and quickly. How are we doing for time? Oh, we're going a little long. But I suppose it is the expos. There's a lot to show, so might as well make this one. Pull up all the classes. All the classes. Right, alarmable. So it's got its attorney, as one expects. Quickly look at it here. It's got management for alarmable, which includes the trigger alarm, which is different from the other expos. So therefore it's interesting. Then of course registration. And yeah, let's get rid of that. Pause if you want. Anyway, we've got our functions here. Big four, of course. Of course, we've got. I put this function in here just to check for if the alarm is if an alarm is active. I don't think this was part of the assignment, so kind of interesting. It's mainly for checking if stuff has been deregistered or not. Yeah, anyway. Alarm registration. Actually, probably should have put back. Oh well. Alarm registration, deregistration. Of course, we have our user defined functions down here and some oxygen blurb. Oh yeah, here's the registration data. So this is kind of important because it holds the commands, saves commands that as like a way of recycling them, and it's just a struct. Nothing too ingenious here. It also has the reg state and the reference to the vulnerable manager list or map. Yes. So anyway, yeah, let's take a look at the CP file. And I need to try and go through this faster. Yes. So gotta set up those. I chose three alarms because it's easier, and I don't see myself ever using more than three, to be honest. And if I am, well, might as well make more classes. So it also cuts down on stuff like switch statements, all that. But it's actually not too hard to change. Either way, I believe just add more functions. I'm pretty sure an alarm will, yeah, and the alarm manager, I've just got some, some static or variables here so that you can sort of change them later if we find that the engine needs more alarms, but it's not too terrible. Should work technically with any number as long as you have the user defined function for it, which could be annoying if you want like 20. But yeah, anyway. We got here an alarm. Trigger alarm just triggers the correct user defined function. The registration, whatnot, which is it's been a while since I looked at this, but it goes through the proper way of doing things, recycling commands, and all that. Yes. There's the helper function. Here's our getter and setter for the ref. I think that's a setter. Yeah, it's setter. Right. So again, fairly similar to previous expos. Let's not spend any more time on that. Right. So we've got, here's all the different like names for the, to make it a little bit easier to read the or understand the multi-map, which has its pair of alarms, alarm event, to make it so you can do things like have multiple alarms, or an alarm that resets itself, I should say, not multiple alarms. Well, of course you can have multiple alarms. Anyway, our rule manager CPP file runs through its map, of course, checking if each has gone past the time or not in the way you might expect, and if it does, it gets rid of it and calls the correct trigger alarm. Right. Which yeah, so these are in the bullet class down here. I don't know if I showed that. So it does work. Not crazy, mostly. Yeah, we've got alarm here, submits the exit, which I probably should have mentioned in the scene part, is that we got our scene entry and exit and alarm here demoed in the bullets. These are the same bullets that are shot by the player. Here are all the player stuff. All that. Right. I don't know if I really looked at these classes that much during the demo part. Yeah, we've got our follow cam here. That's pretty interesting. Not to divert too much from the expos. Right. Anyway, got down here. This basically. Oh yeah, this was for a timer so that you could only shoot so fast. Otherwise, you end up just shooting a ton of bullets, which doesn't really make sense because it's a tank. You gotta reload every time, right? Yeah. Anyway, just triggered here. What was I even looking for? That's yeah, I was looking for yeah here. Create bullet factory. So I can more or less prove that this is the same bullet. That's what I was looking for. Right, so we got our bullet factory here. It spawns the player bullet, which spawns the a bullet. And it, of course, recycles as one would expect. Recycling is good for the environment. The pools and this first one here, if it's not empty, the pool is not empty, it will, take a bullet out, use it. And of course, new bullet if there are none to be recycled. Yeah, anyway, side tangent on alarms. So yes, that should cover alarmables. They work as they should. Actually, if you want to see a better alarm demo, I've got a going way over time. Yeah, I'm going way over time. Oh no. It's been 60 minutes. Anyway, I think World Plane. Yeah. World Plane has a nice alarm demo here. Basically, it has an alarm that repeats itself and an alarm that just stops. An alarm that should never be done because the first alarm cancels it out before it should fire. Yeah, this is originally the one I showed with my sprint, but if I remember how to do so, pardon going back to the basics here, but this is a pretty good alarm demo. Gotta reload everything. Not everything. Well, let's look at the thing. That. Yes, keyboard system is next. Ooh, and collision. I think I'm gonna break it up here. Yeah, anyway, there's the thing. Let's take a look at the output. Right, so as the right, so this basically it has 3 alarms that trigger, and the first one just keeps repeating and screeching. The second one fires only once, but it cancels the second alarm, so the second alarm should never fire. And if I were to uncomment this one, this is an example of doing 2 twice, which is a no-no, and we'll hit it in a start. Aha, I've broken it successfully. Good job, me. Right, so that's a handy little demo there. Oh yes, I should probably show the module for this. Oh my gosh, this is going way too long. I've forgotten to show my game object demo. So, not that I've gotten to game object just yet, but game object has its nice detailed description here and a example of registering for all the things at once, just in case you wanted to. Like, I want key registrations, I want alarm registrations. Yeah, and using the space for get and whatnot. Anyway, let's take a look at alarms. Basically, this one, because of the first demo, tells you how to set up alarm registration, or at least shows it. Then, yeah, so this is basically just a little page to be like, hey, this is the function you're supposed to define. This is what it might look like. Yeah, I'll get back to that when in the next video for collision and keyboard. I need to end this one. All right.